All right, guys, Abraham has hitting away all of the parts that he's been working on. Oh my God. Whew. That looks amazing. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brent Ruiz, and this is part number 2 of the Ferrari 458 Challenge Evo build. That's a lot of words. Now, this video is going to be all about the cosmetic upgrades that this kit needs, and we're going to be starting with, obviously, the most important part, the carbon fiber pieces. We need to refinish them. We need to restore them so they are back to looking like new. Now, I was considering trying to learn it myself, getting all the tools, the pads, and everything else you need, but I need to make sure this is done right. So I'm going to send it to a professional shop. They are masters at bringing carbon fiber back to life, and the pieces on this kit definitely need it. So I am on an absolute mission. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be hauling all of the parts that I have to the shop. It's about an hour's drive north of here. I will show you guys from start to finish how these carbon fiber pieces are brought back from the dead. I cannot wait to see how they look once they're done. And as you can imagine, I'm super interested in how this whole process is done. So I'll be there at the shop while it's being done, and I'm gonna show you guys as much as I can, as much as the owner lets me show you guys, and I cannot wait until this is all done. So first major issue though, I don't have a car or truck that can haul all of these big, huge pieces. I only have like a 2-door AMG, and then I have a Jeep, which I think there's actually less storage in the Jeep than the AMG, so yeah, I don't really have the best cars for this purpose, so I need to make a call real quick. Hopefully she says yes, because I would be kind of screwed if not.
Hello?
I have a favor to ask. Okay, so we're good to go on the car. Thank you to my sister. Let's all give her a big thanks in the comments. Now, I have here in my hand a checklist of everything that needs to be done on this car cosmetic-wise. So let's just go down this real quick, because I really need to organize myself. So this first section here is just what I talked about, the carbon fiber refinishing / restoration, front bumper, splitter, intake manifold covers, and the rear wings. The plan for the front bumper and the front splitter is to restore them first, and then I'm going to need to apply some PPF, paint protection film, or clear brawl. The intake manifold covers, I actually have one here. So this is what it looks like without the badge on it, by the way. Coming back to the list here, we have this section I called Other Stuff, which is basically less important, but still stuff I have to get done. So first of all, the headlights. I actually need to remove the headlights today, because I'm gonna take them to the shop that's doing the carbon fiber refinishing. They do headlights as well. Now, a very common problem with headlights is condensation that happens inside. But the problem with mine really isn't that. It's just that they have a ton of micro rock chips engraved in them. They have to be sanded down and polished out. And I'm sure they can knock that out pretty easily. And just continuing down the list, we have the mesh grills. These 3 pieces, 1, 2, 3, that go behind the front bumper. I tried to find them from Ferrari, and I actually found a racing team that was selling them, and they were $1,000 each for mesh. So as you can imagine, I politely refused, and well, now you find me online looking for some mesh that closely resembles this style that comes with the 458 Challenge cars. And I have kind of found something that is nearly on par. This was one example. This is another one here. It doesn't really look that close in this picture here, but once you click on the customer pictures right here, you can see that it is actually very, very similar, and especially this picture over here. Here it is. So this picture right there, I don't even know what car that is, but it does look pretty similar. So I think that's gonna work. And the best part about this whole thing is that instead of $1,000, I'm gonna pay, well, here's the list. I actually don't know what kind of size I need yet, but let's just say the middle size, black, $50. $50, that sounds a lot more reasonable for some mesh. And once I receive it, I just have to cut them into these 3 different pieces, and just, I guess, epoxy them to the back of the bumper or something to make them hold on securely. Oh, and one more thing, I am gonna have to go on eBay or something and find one of these Cavalinos, or the prancing horses, because I do not have one of those for the front bumper. But hopefully I can find one, and then we can make this front bumper completely awesome, completely authentic, and that is the goal of this entire build. I need to have these Ferrari badges, these ones here actually, chromed again, because previous owner, as you saw in the parts review video, hopefully, they had them primered because they wanted to paint them. So I need to get those chromed again. And then other stuff, this is even less important, but I still need to get all this stuff done eventually, probably later in the build process. A new windshield, which I can either go through my insurance to get a new one, or if I can hopefully find a Lexan one, that'd be pretty awesome, but that's gonna be very, very, very difficult to find. And then the fender liners. If you saw in part 1 of the build, I removed them, and I mentioned that I might want to give them a little bit of treatment. Maybe some of that back to black stuff that brings the plastic back to black. I guess that's why they call it that. Okay. And these last items on the list: polish the black paint on top of the car. Brake calipers, at the very least, I need to coat them again with some ceramic just to make them easier to clean and give them some extra layer of protection. And I am still deciding if I'm going to paint them another color. They're currently yellow. I need to really decide what's gonna look best on this crazy new wrap design. And then the last item here, new wheels. Once I get them, they're currently being made. I'm gonna have them ceramic coated just to give them that extra layer of protection and make them a lot easier to clean. So that's the list for now, at least. Hopefully I don't add too much to this list. But I think this is all pretty doable, and we're gonna be starting with the fun stuff, the carbon fiber refinishing and restoration, which we are starting tomorrow. First thing I need to do though is go get my sister's car because I cannot do anything without that. And then when I come back, I'm gonna remove the headlights from my car as well, get those prepared, and hey, I think we're gonna be ready to take everything to the shop tomorrow. All right, so I got one of the headlights off right there. It's actually a very simple process. There's just a few screws to remove. 1, 2, and 3. And then once those are off, you just disconnect the connector right here, and you're pretty much good to go. And just so you can see why I'm actually doing this in the first place, let's just get another closer look at this. Now, I wish you guys could actually rub your hand across this. You could definitely tell how many little microchips are in there. I'm just gonna pan the camera down, and you can see all those little specks. Those are all little tiny microchips, so that is why I am gonna have these restored. And then to remove this connector, there's only this one, so this top part is just a cap. You don't need to remove that. You just need to remove this part here, which is just this gray band that holds everything together, keeps everything tight. I just use a flathead screwdriver to basically push it through this hole and then outwards like that. Get everything loose, and now I should be able to disconnect it. That's all there is to it. Headlight is free. Both of the headlights are off now, so these are ready to go for tomorrow. Oh man, these headlights are gonna be so much happier with me after the next few days. So let's fast forward a few seconds to tomorrow. All right, good morning guys, I am back. I have everything laid out in my garage here that I'm gonna be taking to the shop. So we have the front splitter, we have the intake manifold covers right there. I have the headlights and the front bumper. And then I'm also, he doesn't actually know this yet, but I'm gonna give him these fender liners. If he can restore them, if he has any time, he can do those. If not, I can just do them myself later on. But for now, let's load everything up in my sister's car, which is right outside the garage there. And let's get on the road. All right, we're on the road and I have a really wide load here. Hopefully none of this stuff is gonna like roll around too much and scratch the whole car up. We have about 30 minutes left on this drive, so I will see you guys when we get there.
Oh, because usually you said the bumpers, like big pieces.
These are the matte finish end plates. It's gonna have them use these as reference for the intake covers. I want to have the finish on the intake covers be pretty similar to what is on here.
Do you know freshhkiicks?
Yeah.
YouTube. Him right here. Dropping off also.
Oh, nice.
It's just my nizzo bumper. It's my third one now.
You've done like a crazy build on yours, right?
Yeah, it's fully built. So the head's fully built, the bottom end's fully built. It's bored out to 3.8. It's like 8 wheels, 700 torque. So it's pretty fast. Like cars that give me a good race are like 900, 850.
Dang.
Yeah, my homie Danny has a GT3 one.
Yeah, it's like a GT3 but without the wide body.
That's
Yeah.
sick, dude.
I'm using that build as kind of a launch pad for the YouTube channel, so.
That's definitely a great start.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been working together?
About 5, 6 years.
Yeah,
Oh, dang.
my first build, yeah, my G35. He painted my first bumper that I ever bought aftermarket.
Guess you're good at what you do then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this car was low.
It's a race car.
It would be till about right here. From here back, I would have to do fiberglass weaving, shape everything here, reinforce it from both this side and the other side.
What do you think about the lip? Can you bring it back?
It almost looks all black right here. So they probably painted the underside just because it's, like you said, a race car that's going to take a beating.
Yeah.
They actually patched it up here. And you can see
Yep.
all the weaving. You can see it stick out.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna have to be clear coated
Uh-huh.
about 3 different times, just so that I can make it look a little smoother.
Yeah, it doesn't have to look amazing. It just has to look better than it is, basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely gonna look better.
What do you do first? You just like, do you sand it down first, or?
Yeah. You gotta sand everything down. You're taking off the top layer.
Yeah.
Because usually with carbon fiber, what they do is it's the carbon fiber weaving and then it's resin. So with resin, you're basically taking off the top layer like this. You can see that it's almost non-existent. What we'll have to do is we'll smooth everything out without taking off the weave.
So it's just like that top layer before you get into the weave. And then you clear coat it several times.
Just to give it that extra depth. That's one thing too I like about carbon fiber. Once it's clear coated, it just
Gloss, super
it
wet.
just gives it that extra, almost 3-dimensional.
On this bottom side, we can just do this repair and then leave everything just the way it is.
Leave everything as is.
Yeah, I like having those battle scars. And there's no real point in like bringing it back anyway, because I think I'm gonna be scraping anyway on the new setup that I have. So
All right, let's take a look at your light.
I just never clear brawled them, so they're just tons of microchips in there.
Yeah, it's all the bare plastic. You gotta sand everything down with a fine grit and get rid of the imperfections, but you gotta be careful too, because plastic can get scratched.
On the manifold covers, you think those are pretty straightforward for you?
Yeah, oh yeah. I don't know what he sanded it with, because you see there's like
Scratches
some
and stuff?
scratches.
Yeah.
So basically what I gotta do is I gotta work my way up to something finer. And that way it's nice and smooth.
All right, guys, so we have everything pretty much ready to go. It's gonna take a few days to get everything done, but I'll be back just to get a little bit of video content for you guys to see how this process is actually done. It's gonna be a pretty big project, but once Abraham here is done with everything, everything's gonna be looking absolutely amazing. So cannot wait to see what the finished product is gonna look like, and especially when I get to put this thing on my car finally. Gonna be a pretty happy camper. All right, guys, it's the next day, but yesterday was all about dropping off the parts and just getting on the same page with Abraham. Today's actually Sunday, and Abraham is working. Definitely have to give a lot of props to him for working on this project on a Sunday to get it done as fast as possible. So thank you, Abraham, and if you guys have not checked them out, link in the description below. Vidal Paint is the name of the paint shop. They do everything from paint to carbon fiber restoration, which obviously he's specializing in on this project. We're almost there, it's down the street. Let's check out what he's done so far. Let's see what we can show you in terms of the process, and yeah, let's go from there. We just made it to the shop. Abraham's inside working on the parts. The next time I come back here, everything should be done. Everything should be looking absolutely amazing. So I'm pretty excited for this process, but let's go in right now and check everything out. So guys, Abraham has just been working on this intake manifold cover, and he's just been doing the prep work, which consists of mostly just wet sanding. I just ran my hand over this for the first time since I last felt it, and it is insanely smooth. I can't even believe how smooth that is. We just brought over the other one that Abraham has not touched yet, and just comparing how this feels compared to the one that he just sanded, I mean, it's absolutely insane. You can totally tell just by the sound of running your hand over that. Compare that noise to this. It's like, this doesn't even make a noise when you rub your hand over it.
Here, like some chips. If you use that Scotch-Brite, you'll just go right through it. Since you're doing it either with a block or by hand, foaming it, you get that smoother compared to the other one. It'll just leave the chip there.
Here's another project that Abraham's working on right now. It's a challenge bumper for a Ferrari 360, doing some fiberglass repair. And this one is actually freshhkiicks new bumper for his Z, which is gonna be painted again. And sitting right here is my Challenge Evo front bumper, which is going to be next up on the chopping block. You can see right through here, the visible carbon fiber on the front side of the front bumper is going to be completely redone and glossed out to match the rest of the exterior carbon fiber parts on this car. Masking off the headlights right now. Abraham's gonna be working on getting all of these micro rock chips and stuff out of them. But I'm gonna be smart this time, and once I get these back and they're completely redone, I'm heading straight to the paint protection film place for them to cover these up, because I'm gonna be doing a lot more driving with this car than I already have, and do not want this problem to resurface. So I'm actually gonna be taking a lot of these parts, not just the headlights, but a lot of these other carbon fiber parts, to Clear Pro, my local paint protection film shop, and they'll apply their Clear Bra to all of these. So that's gonna save them from a lot of hardship in the future. You were saying before this process is a little bit more difficult, or you just have to be more careful?
Yeah, you just have to be more careful because the plastic itself can get scratched. For example, if there's any little rock or dust particles in your sandpaper, they will make a scratch on the plastic. So you just have to be extra careful. And then we masked it off so that we wouldn't get any of the electrical components. So do you see how now this one is cutting more of them?
Abraham is basically just going up the grit levels on the sandpaper here to see which one is going to remove all of these the best. And as he works his way up through the finer grit levels, you can definitely see all of these imperfections just completely disappearing. Even just a few minutes later, like, you can barely see any of the imperfections left. This is the headlight that's being worked on right now, and just compare that to one over here that has not been touched yet, and holy moly, it's not even close. Man, this is just a really good lesson for you guys. Always clear bra your headlights. Before we leave the shop today, Abraham is going to give us a rundown of what he's going to be doing on this front bumper.
Basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking out the imperfections, making sure setting everything right. You noticed whoever primed it, they had a little bit of overspray there and all right here, so we're going to remove all that and make the carbon look like the day it was made.
I didn't even see this stuff before, but there's some overspray of the primer right here. Pretty much everywhere, actually, you can see it, especially over here on this corner. That stuff is going to be about a few more days of work. The thing that's going to take long is going to be that front splitter repair, because it definitely does need it. I need to make sure that all of that stuff is structurally sound before I install it onto the car, so don't want to mess with any of that stuff. All right guys, we're just leaving Abraham's shop. If you guys can do me a favor, link in the description below to the shop's Instagram. It's called Vidal Paint. If you're in Southern California area, you should definitely check them out for any carbon fiber, any kind of paint work. They're working on a Sunday, so anything to get this build done as fast as possible, I am a fan of. So we're gonna head back home now and start to get to work on the rest of the car. Anything that I can do while I wait for these parts to be done, which I will be picking up in a few days. So let's get back home and get back to work on this 458 Challenge Evo build. What's up guys, welcome back to my sister's Hyundai Santa Fe, and whenever I'm driving this car, that really only means one thing: I'm picking up car parts. And that's definitely true today. I'm on the way to Vidal Paint. Today I'm actually picking up all of the pieces which should be already done. So I am just pulling into the shop now. I am super excited to see how everything came out. I'm a huge carbon fiber nerd guys, and I don't think there's anything better than seeing like carbon fiber pieces that have been like used and abused and then brought back to life. So that's what we're gonna be seeing right now, and let's see how everything turned out. All right guys, Abraham has hidden away all of the parts that he's been working on. Oh my God, holy crap guys. All right, I'm not gonna show you them just yet, but let me just take this in. Abraham, you are the man. I cannot believe you were able to bring this stuff back. I'm looking at the lip on the front splitter right now, and then the bumper is, I'm looking at the bumper right now as well, and sheesh, it looks amazing. The carbon fiber intake manifolds are just around the corner here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I cannot wait until these things are on the Challenge Evo 458. All right, so let's start with these matte finish. Absolutely perfect level of matte, by the way. Just bring this out into the sun real quick. Check that out. That's amazing. Obviously the badges which go right there are missing, but I'm having them re-chromed, so don't worry about that. All right, so big success on the carbon fiber intake manifolds. Could not have asked for anything better than that. Extremely happy. God, just look at that. Just look at it though. Oh, all right, let's move on to the front bumper and the front splitter. I'm gonna bring them out into the sun real quick, but holy moly. The level of depth that you can see now is just insane. The weave looks so sick. I mean, just imagine that thing on my car. It's gonna look so sick. So let's move on to the front splitter over here. Guys, this is actually insane what Abraham was able to do with this front lip on the front splitter here. In the parts reveal video, if you have not seen that, please check it out, because you'll be able to see how dead in the water this front splitter was. I mean, it was, I don't even know how Abraham was able to bring it back to life like this, but it looks absolutely amazing. You can see how well that turned out. I mean, it's basically like a mirror right here. I can see my camera, I can see myself. Hi guys. So yeah, a big success on this as well. Here are the fender liners. They look absolutely like brand new again. Holy crap. If you guys missed part 1 of the Challenge Evo build, you'll see these off of the car and you'll be able to see how these look like when I took them off of my car, and they looked absolutely like disgusting. So I'm super happy to see them in the shape they are in now. I mean, they look pretty much brand new. Abraham has also been working on the headlights, which are almost done. He's down to the last step, which is doing a final buff. Let's check this out. Load her up. Wrapping up the intake manifold covers right there. Loading everything else up here. The headlights coming home with me as well. Thank you again to my sister, by the way, for lending me her car, because I would totally be screwed without it. And before I leave, I do want to just give another shout out to Abraham and Vidal Paint for knocking it out of the park on all of these carbon fiber pieces, and the headlights, of course. Really did an amazing job. I was super surprised when I saw the final outcome today. Thanks again, Abraham. All right, guys, I'm headed home. That was an awesome experience. Getting those carbon fiber parts after seeing them completely like dead a few days ago. Picking them up today has been a very big relief, because I want this car to look absolutely perfect. I'm going out of my way to like fix as much cosmetic things as I can. Like even the fender liners, like you can't even see those, but I'm going out of my way to like do as much as I can, because that is one thing that I haven't really been doing the best job of with my car so far, like taking care of that stuff, making it look like amazing all the time. I'm taking full advantage of this Challenge Evo build to just get everything back to like tip-top shape to make this car really look absolutely amazing. All right, guys, I'm just back home. I'm bringing all the pieces inside my house in preparation of this next video that I'm gonna be releasing on my channel, which is going to be the video that's dedicated completely to revealing how much I paid for all of these parts compared to how much they are new from Ferrari. And guys, it's a big difference. I'm so lucky to have found them the way that I did. So I'll be telling you guys all about that, doing a full cost breakdown, item by item, one by one. So if that sounds interesting, please guys, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like if you actually enjoyed watching it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Deuces!